So as a boon, I currently have to Yo, what's up guys, it's Ruben here, live from the, well, not live, I know, but from the public test server, and I'm bringing you the first Morrowind build coming from my channel. I'm not saying this is the first Morrowind, but the first Morrowind from me, from my channel, before anyone gets all pissed. Oh, I didn't even see the buff tracker on the right. I should really get rid of that. Anyways, this is my Templar build updated for Morrowind. I tested it and it still works great. A bit low on the stamina sustain like you can see, but you don't need a lot of stamina anyways because we still get an amazing 4.5k health recovery with this build. And even if people are debuffing us with Siphon and stuff like that, we will still hit overall like 4.2k. Really, you have to drink now in the middle of my video? This dog. So does this mean this build can only tank? No, we are using 5 medium armor, 1 heavy and 1 light, or 5 medium and 2 heavy. The latter is the one I would recommend, to be honest, with 5 medium and 2 heavy. The medium of course for the DPS and sustain, and the heavy for taking some hits, you know. This is a great build, by the way. I don't want to brag, but it has a great burst. Here I've been fighting, you know, I need to get used to the public test server as well. But there is so much more potential that you can get with this build. Whenever you fuck up, you can always use your shield ultimate and get your stamina back up with some heavy attacks. I didn't use my potions, my pots most of the duel, like you can see here. I wait quite a... okay, not really, but you get the point, you get the point. So this build is pretty much still the same from the current live server, except of course when champion point system changed and maybe a few enchantments you can swap out. So I'm going to show the same few again, except with the gear part. I'm going to talk about the enchantments, what you can do differently, and I'm going to talk about the champion point system. Apart from that, the skills are the same, the gear is pretty much the same as well, and the food is also the same. I hope you guys will enjoy this. Let's get started, shall we? Why the orc race? Well, basically orc has increased max health and max stamina, which is nice. Increase your healing receipt, not that important, but the health recovery, very important for a health recovery build. Swift warrior, increase your damage done and reduce the cost of sprint and increase the movement speed is quite nice. That combined with the medium armor and then potion of immovability, you can run very fast. This kind of makes up for the lack of mobility which you normally have as a Templar. Not just a stamina Templar, a Magica Templar also lacks mobility. So that's very nice. I already escaped quite a lot of zergs this way. What you basically do is you pop your spell wall and then you get the hell out of here. Here you see a clip of me in action. I should... There is a way I can escape this, honestly. There is. But I need to survive a little bit longer for that. Okay, my ultimate is almost ready. Okay, what I have to do now... Come on, ult! Fuck you! Now we're going to start with abilities. First we're going to start off with the one-handed shield bar. Number one, we have Power of the Light. Power of the Light is from a Dance Rep. What is very nice about it is, you summon an expanding beam on someone. This deals 3k cycle damage, but it also copies all the damage they will receive for 6 seconds and release 25% of it. So let's say you deal 40k damage, 25% of that damage will be copied. So that's 10k plus the other 3k is 13k damage. It's of course as a maximum, but it's so freaking great, you know. If you proc that shit properly, like if you have everything, you do a stampede, you do the downbreaker, and then this procs at the same time while your enemy's under pressure, that's how you nuke them down with this build. It's really great. Number two, we have Repentance. The other morph is very nice as well because you have the extra Magica. However, I still chose for Repentance because with this build I'm overall in larger PvP, you know, in the big fights. And then it's so great. You just block, people are dying all around you, you spam Repentance, and you just keep gaining your stamina back up. That's why I prefer Repentance myself. But you can definitely go for the other morph. Number three, we have Extended Ritual. Extended Ritual, you just want to cleanse more harmful effects from yourself. That's why I went for this one. Number four, Channeled Focus. I tested both out with Channeled Focus and Restoring Focus. However, the reduced damage taken and increased healing is not worth it because you already gained so much health recovery. And you kind of need this extra Magica recovery to use Extended Ritual a bit more. So the 120 Magica recovery every half seconds basically equals 480 Magica recovery. And number five, we still have Resolving Fire. If you get pressured like a lot, overall I don't use this a lot, but if you just get so many people on you, you can just do this extra thing for extra healing. It's great. It's fantastic. Well, ultimate, Spell Wall. You definitely want to go for Spell Wall. You don't want to go for the one which gives you free one-handed shield abilities because we are not using any one-handed shield abilities. This one also reflects. I would recommend to grind it up a little bit. Maximum time duration is 7 seconds once that's max level. Two-handed bar. Well, in the clips you saw me using Wrecking Blow. Or well, not Wrecking Blow, but Dizzying Swing. The reason why I went for Javelin is because I like the combo much more after all the testing. What you do is you wait when you want to shoot for everything to proc, place a Power of the Light, throw a Javelin, stampede in, use your jabs, use maybe Dawnbreaker if it's ready to be used, and then execute. Works very well. If it doesn't work, you go back to your one-hand shield and you retry it. So, Binding Javelin, number 1. Adric Spear. Number 2, Stampede. I prefer Stampede over Crit Rush because you really need something to snare the enemy. Otherwise it's just a no against most Nightblades. So that's why Stampede over Critical Rush. Number 3 is Binding Jabs. Well, Binding Jabs, your main damage. Number 4, Reverse Slice. Now you probably are why are you going for the AoE one? Well, you can go for the other morph as well. I mean, it's just a little bit of extra damage. But overall, I'm with this build in more 1 versus X situations. Both of them are very, very nice. And last but not least, Rally. Well, increased weapon damage of course. Okay, so let's get started with the gear. There is a tricky part. So first of all, I'm going to take off the items that are a must. And after that I'm going to talk about the items which you can swap around a little bit, okay? So the items we don't have currently equipped are a must, and you must do it exactly the same as I have. So let's get started with 7 Legion. You want a 7 Legion necklace, a 7 Legion ring, and you can only have one of these, a 7 Legion Conjured Oath Band. Why Oath Bands? Because this one gives max stamina. You can only equip one of them, like you can see, you can equip only one of that item, blah blah blah. So, one-handed shield, you want 7 Legion as well. So, 7 Legion, I personally go for a shield with an axe. As a two-handed weapon, you can get a 7 Legion. It's not a must though. I mean, that extra weapon critical is actually very nice. But I couldn't get a 7 Legion so far, so I'm still using a Great Sword of Agility with a weapon damage enchantment and sharpened. On the 7 Legion we of course go with Impenetrable and we go with a defending trait. I have a maximum stamina enchantment. The reason I go for a maximum stamina enchantment is because we have figure on this bar. More maximum stamina is a stronger heal. And the pure cancerous set on the head and shoulders is Troll King. Okay, so you have 2 Troll King, 3 7 Legion jewelry, 7 Legion two-handed, and a 7 Legion axe. This means the remainder of your items are all Orgnum scale. However, what I would recommend, if you can do, is go for 2 medium Troll King. Okay, so a medium Troll King helmet and a medium Troll King shoulders. Get the chest in heavy and the legs in heavy if you can. Why? Because you get much more armor that way. So that's what I would recommend. Traits I would recommend are around 4 to 5 Impenetrable with 2 Sturdy for the reduced block cost. Like you can see, I myself have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Sturdy and only 3 Impenetrable, which is really, I would prefer 2 Impenetrable more. So that's the current gear setup. We have 1, 2 stamina recoveries and 1 weapon damage enchantment. What you could do, especially with the Morrowind changes, is go for 3 stamina recovery. I myself am not doing it because I really like to be just tank, you know, with health regeneration. Then I will play very defensive and then I will go boom offensively. You can play like that as well. In fact, you could even go another weapon damage enchantment, but it wouldn't be recommendable. But if you like to play this build that way, you can definitely play a new cannon, and then whenever you're low on resource, you pop your shield ultimate, go in block modus, heavy attack, restore with health recovery, etc. You can definitely run this build that way as well. So as a boon, you shouldn't use the Chief. You should definitely use the Mundus, which gives you increased stamina recovery. So definitely go for the Serpent, which is located in Green Shades, Riven Spire or Shadowfen, depending on what faction you are. You perhaps did notice that we are also Werewolf. I'm not really using it on this build. Sometimes I like to slot it though on my two-handed bar. However, you get increased sustain and but you don't have a lot of benefit from it. I mean, you lose a lot of burst. And overall, when you are out of stamina, you fall back to your one-handed shield bar, but you definitely don't want to get rid of your spell wall build, mate. So, that being said, we also use the foods. Well, I use WS Cameron Throne at the moment. You use either this one, or you use gold food. You can use gold food for more stamina regenerate, more health recovery. Then you will hit around 4.5, 4.8k health recovery. So with that being said, let's go in the champion system. We have 50 in Siphoner. Really, with the sustain changes, you really want Siphoner to just drain the enemy's resources. They're already having a freaking hard time. This will only make it worse. 5 in Warlord, reduce the cost of break free. 2 in Bashing Focus. 2 in Arcanist, just a little bit of Magicka recovery. 54 in Moonkelf for around 12 stamina recovery and 14 health recovery. 5 Befall, increase the effectiveness of your healing reduction abilities. And the reason we have that one, because what you can do sometimes if you want to run a bit of a different setup, you morph Power Bash into Reverberating Bash. Then it will also affect Mage Defel. Very good for duels, etc. The one you should get rid of though is either Shuffle. Yeah, mainly Shuffle. I mean, you can also get rid of Channeled Focus, though I really wouldn't recommend. I know Shuffle is really good with the 50% dodge chance, but Reverberating Bash can be very useful. So that's the reason why I'm saying for that one. 2 in Tumbling, reduce the cost of roll dodge, we use it a lot. Can in fact even get a bit up more. And Shadow Ward, reduce the cost of block. Apprentice, 42 in Blast, increase your healing gun. Psych Weapon, increase your damage done with light and heavy attacks. Look, the parodic videos I made and other people who are constantly talking like light attack, heavy attack spam, it's real. It's not a joke anymore. It's legit. So 10% extra damage with it is very nice. Increase your damage done to enemies with a damage shield. If you're fighting a sorcerer or one of those cancer Templars, which are still there, yes they are still there with blazing shield, really nice. Increase your damage done with direct damage attacks, very good. 64 in Might, increase your Psycho, that's pretty much it. Piercing, increase penetration, a lot of good old let's get it over. Increase the damage and healing of your critical strikes. Templar has a lot of crits, just a lot with the Bunny Gems, so this is great. Thaumaturge, increase your damage done with damage or time. Power of the Light. 6 in Ironclad, 10 medium armor, spell shields, and crit resistance. I have 40, 40, 40 here, and the reason why that is reduce your damage, these are all quite useful, but this is just so useful, Unchained passive. When you use Break Free, the cost of your next stamina ability used within 5 seconds is reduced by 80%. Overall, when you get stunned, you take a lot of damage. Agreed? So, when you break free, you directly want to pop your figure. And that's really great with this, because figure is now costing like 3.7k. So whenever you break free, it's reduced by 80%. So then it's maybe like 750 stamina to heal yourself with figure. So that's the reason why I have this. The next one, 8 in Expert Defender and 34 in Quick Recovery. Increase your healing receipt by 8.5%.